good morning, and thank you for joining us for our weekly press conference. Today, we are excited to provide an update on the East Bayfront Greenway Trail project. First, I will provide an overview and a recap. Second, Aaron Snippert, the Executive Director of the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Erie, will provide an update on the project. Third, Sarah Merritt from the PA Council of the Arts is here to make an exciting announcement. And finally, Pastor Darrell Cook, a Groundwork Erie Board member, will speak to Groundwork Erie's involvement this summer and moving forward in this project. It has been a while since we last provided an update on the East Side Bayfront Greenway Trail, so here's my quick recap. It's not really that quick, to be honest, but after my team and I took office in January of 2018, we quickly set to work conducting community forums and focus groups with residents. We decided that for our first neighborhood plan, we wanted to work with residents in the East Bayfront. That summer, we embarked on our Summer of Hope, in which we knocked on 400 doors in the East Bayfront neighborhood to hear directly from residents about their highest priorities. We followed up that by working with UPMC on the Count Me In campaign the following summer. During that initiative, we knocked on 650 doors in the East Erie neighborhood to get a better sense of their needs. We learned that one of their top priorities was a lack of recreational areas, parks, and green spaces. This has been pointed out in Erie Refocused, and the recommendation from that consultant was to install a Perry Square-like park in the East Bayfront neighborhood. However, we did not like that because it would have meant removing several blocks of housing. Instead, as part of the plan and based on the resident input and the fact that the Redevelopment Authority and Serve Erie already own 100 of vacant lots, we decided to create a series of small parks and green spaces connected by pathways and trails. We then applied for a PA Department Coastal Zone Management grant so that we could bring on a consultant to develop an implementation plan. In the meantime, two things happened. First, in 2019, our neighborhood planner, Aaron Carey, took a lead on applying for a Groundwork Erie designation. Groundwork Erie is part of a Groundwork USA, a national nonprofit created and supported by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA for short, and the National Park Service, NPS for short. And the mission is to bring about sustained regeneration, improvement, and management of the physical environment by developing community-based partnerships which empower people, businesses, and organizations to promote environmental, economic, and social well-being. We were selected to pursue the Groundwork USA designation, conducted the year-long feasibility study in partnership with Erie Neighborhood Growth Partnership, and in May of 2021, Groundwork Erie became the 22nd trust within the Groundwork USA Trust Network. Second, in March of 2020, COVID-19 hit, and in 2021, we received ARP funding to help our residents recover from COVID. During the height of the pandemic, we realized the importance of outdoor spaces. Because of that, we decided to use $1.5 million in ARP funding to help implement the East Bayfront Greenway Trail. In 2022, we were awarded the Department of Environmental Protection Coastal Zone Grant to put out an RFP, hire a consultant, and develop the plan for the East Bayfront Greenway Trail. Since the city's Redevelopment Authority owns a lot of vacant parcels, we transferred the funding for this project to them so they could manage and implement it in partnership with the city. The Redevelopment Authority put out an RFP for a consultant and, with input from city staff, interviewed candidates. They hired Michael Baker International to embark on the East Bayfront Greenway Trail plan. Many community forums, meetings, and planning sessions later, we have an update to provide you. So now, I'm going to stop talking and turn it over to Aaron Snippert to bring everyone up to speed on our progress. Aaron.
Over the last 10 months, the Redevelopment Authority, along with the steering committee made up of representatives from several city departments, Erie County, and the neighborhood, have been working with a consultant to develop a plan to utilize vacant land to create a network of greenways and parks through the East Bayfront neighborhood. The East Bayfront Greenway Trail project will positively impact residents within the core of a community by removing approximately 50 deteriorated and unsound homes, rehabilitating 30 housing units, creating a more walkable neighborhood with improved sidewalks and street tree enhancements, and provide residents with better access to parks and recreational spaces. This project is, at its core, a blight remediation and community organizing strategy that will have a direct impact on not only one of the most challenged areas in the city, but eventually on the city at large. To fulfill the vision of the East Bayfront Greenway and to stabilize the neighborhood, this collaborative effort will work to improve rental and homeowner properties through rehabilitation, demolition of vacant and unsound structures, clearance of high concentrations of blight, and providing an inventory of well-maintained and affordable housing options. This will be accomplished through the following three methods. Creating community assets. The transformation of this neighborhood will require demolition on a much larger scale. As proposed in Erie Refocused and the East Bayfront Neighborhood Plan, large concentrations of blight should be prioritized for demolition and the open space converted into a neighborhood asset. Blight mitigation through demolition. Along with the rehabilitation of properties, the demolition of properties that are rated poor or unsound will be identified and prioritized. The Erie Land Bank and RACE will acquire and demolish vacant and unsound buildings with the housing stabilization focus area. These properties pose a health and safety concern through the areas identified for housing improvement. Blight mitigation through housing rehabilitation. With many of the most distressed properties in the area serving as rental units, there is a critical need for quality rental housing. This project will be led by the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Erie. The focus of this effort will be on properties that are currently rated average through the property condition survey, require less extensive rehab, and are vacant. These properties have multiple minor issues but are still salvageable. By bringing these properties up to good or excellent condition, the neighborhood will host affordable yet higher quality rental options. Mayor?
Thank you very much, Aaron. That was really a great overview of the project. This is an incredible project that will have a lasting impact on the Erie Bayfront neighborhood. It is wonderful to see the progress that this is underway. Now, next I'd like to invite Sarah Merritt to explain an exciting opportunity. Sarah is a director of Pennsylvania Creative Communities and Creative Economy at the Pennsylvania Council of the Arts. Sarah, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. So I'd just like to start by giving a little context before I make the announcement. Just to get everybody on the same page, the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts is a state agency founded in 1966 under the Office of the Governor. And when I took my position with the council about 6 years ago, I was asked to lead the information gathering process for our 2019-2020-24 strategic plan. During that process, I spent about 10 months traveling across Pennsylvania, hosting community meetings, one of which was in Erie, and holding one-on-one interviews with community stakeholders across the Commonwealth. The folks I talked to were not just those working in the creative sector, but I heard from representatives of higher and K-12 education, local governments, community and economic development, healthcare, housing, and a host of community service organizations. And through this process, the council was able to reposition its work while we continue to support arts organizations, arts programs, and artists. We are also strategically positioned to support the work to strengthen Pennsylvania communities for retention and attraction of residents and visitors, and community revitalization and livability projects. This broadened focus came from the fact that during the strategic planning process, the folks in communities we were talking to over and over were asking us for support for their arts-based community and economic development work. Out of this feedback, the Creative Communities Initiative was created and rolled out in 2019. The initiative provides funding of $25,000 a year for 4 years, and since it rolled out, the council has received over 215 project proposals from across the Commonwealth. Currently, there are only 18 communities in the program, so as you can see, it is highly, highly competitive. The Pennsylvania Council on the Arts is very excited to announce that Erie is a new addition to the Creative Communities Initiative. We're looking forward to supporting the arts-based strategies that the Redevelopment Authority is deploying to advance the work in the East Bayfront neighborhood. The creative sector in Pennsylvania is a $28.6 billion industry that that supports over 165,000 jobs. The Pennsylvania Council on the Arts understands and is deeply embedded in supporting and promoting the creative sector in communities and creative placemaking work, because we recognize that the quality of place truly does make a difference. So again, on behalf of the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, I'd like to congratulate the Erie Neighborhood Growth Partnership, the Erie Redevelopment Authority, the City of Erie, and all the wonderful community partners as a new addition to the Creative Communities Initiative. Thank you.
And thank you, Sarah. This is an exciting development and a tremendous opportunity for our community. We really appreciate the support of the Pennsylvania Council of the Arts. Thank you again very much. We appreciate it. Finally, today, I would like to invite Pastor Darrell Cook, a Groundwork Erie board member, to say a few words about the role that Groundwork Erie has been playing on the East Bayfront Greenway Trail project. Pastor Cook, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As a local resident, dedicated pastor, and proud board member of Groundwork Erie, I'm both honored and excited to stand before you today to talk about the investment of $100,000 by the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, an investment directly into the heart of our city, our youth, and our neighborhoods. Groundwork Erie is not just any organization. It's a movement. It's our mission to empower the next generation to rise above the challenges and transform their environments, undoing legacies of poverty and inequity that have plagued some of our communities. Our approach is hands-on, leading by doing. We don't just talk. We get our hands dirty alongside neighborhood residents, making tangible changes that ripple through their lives in our city. With this generous grant, we're fortifying Groundwork Erie's mission of youth development and nurturing healthy communities in Erie's East Bayfront neighborhood. Our youth, poised to be the future architects of this city, will partner with artists. This collaboration offers them invaluable experience in urban planning, environmental design, and community engagement. Collectively, they will envision and bring to life the East Bayfront Greenway Trail, further enriching our community's landscape. This isn't just about laying down a pathway. It's about creating bridges that connect residents to parks, promote health, walkability, and kindle a new sense of pride and unity in our community. I sincerely extend our deepest gratitude to the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts. Your belief in Erie, in its potential, and in its youth is not just financial support, but a vote of confidence in our shared future. But the journey doesn't end here. As we celebrate the beginning of the East Bayfront Greenway Trail, let me assure you that there are more transformative projects on our horizon, projects that echo Groundwork Erie's vision of a greener, more resilient Erie. And this is an invitation to all of you to join us. Come, join us. Be a part of building an Erie that stands as a beacon of equity, sustainability, and prosperity for all its residents. With passion in our hearts and tools in our hands, we are ready to shape the future, side by side with our neighbors. Erie's youth, environment, and communities are on the brink of a bright future. Let's unite and craft it together.
And thank you very much, Pastor Cook. Really appreciate that. And I share your enthusiasm and your passion for this project and for Groundwork Erie. I really appreciate the work that our youth on the East Bayfront Greenway Trail project. I love that you invited everyone in Erie to come join us and be part of building an Erie that is a beacon of equality, sustainability, prosperity for all residents. I had to steal that out of here. It's very exciting to see how everything is coming together. In the beginning, the tasks were daunting, but our team persisted. We shared a common vision with the community, and we set to work on trying to achieve that vision. Every neighborhood deserves to be vibrant and welcoming. This project will revitalize the Erie Bayfront. I look forward to supporting this initiative, to witnessing the transformation of the East Erie Bayfront, and to the legacy that this project and many others like it, as you mentioned, will leave for future generations. We have much work to do, but working together with all of you is an inspiration, and I want to thank everyone here, and plus all the speakers, for being part of this. It's been my honor. That concludes this week's press conference. Please continue to follow us on social media for the latest updates on everything happening here in the City of Erie. Everyone who spoke is now available for interviews. Thanks for being here, and thank you for watching.